Welcome, in front of me is a REALME GT2 and today I will show you how you can apply tempered glass to this device. So anyway, to get started I'm going to quickly mention I am using a tempered glass for the Note 20 Ultra, but because I have them in ample amounts, I don't really mind, and as you can see this one fits basically perfectly over this display. So that's what I will be using for this video. Now the process literally doesn't change in any kind of way if you have a tempered glass for this device specifically or for some other that you will be using just like me. Like I said, the process is exactly the same. The only difference is your tempered glass might have a little cutout, kind of like you have right here for the camera. So if you do, I would recommend aligning the cutout with the camera and then aligning it everywhere else, and always making sure that the camera is positioned in the middle of that cutout. But if you don't have a cutout like I don't, which again could happen, then don't worry about it. Anyway, now with the tempered glass you should also get, there we go, these wet and dry wipe. Now if you have ones that look exactly like these, throw them out, they're completely useless. And what I recommend getting is something like a microfiber cloth. If you have one on hand, that's great. If you don't, then use something, well, the wipes that come provided, or maybe you can try using something else. If you get one of tempered glass that comes with something like, let me just quickly find it if I can. There we go. With something like this tiny little cloth, that's great. These are awesome. But as you've seen, all I get with mine is just these crappy little wipes, so I'll be using microfiber cloth. Now before I go into cleaning the display, I will just quickly demonstrate how I apply the glass, and also mention that you can do it with or without the case. Now doing it with the case allows you to have kind of like a little bumper railings, so when you start applying it you can kind of use them to just flip it over to basically shift the glass all the way to the top edge. And you know that once you shift it there, the glass is at the highest position, and also with it you should have it laying kind of evenly, so then when you just drop it, it should not go outside of the edges. It shouldn't be like crooked, so going at an angle like this, just because you use these bumpers as kind of a guiding system. That is a way. If you push it too hard against it, then you might experience that later on once the glass is in place. The case itself will be kind of pushing up the tempered glass from edges, so make sure that if you're planning to use these as kind of like a guiding system, you just gently touch the edges but don't actually push onto them, and from there applying some pressure onto the display and just literally dropping it, it should place correctly. Additionally, if you don't want to use the case or don't want to use this kind of method, what you can do is just again at an angle like this, pinching the display from both sides. You will just lay it down, align it yourself without actually touching anything, like the edges right here of the case. You can even take it off, and then while pinching the actual bezels of the glass, you will also start feeling the bezels of the phone itself. This will allow you to position the actual tempered glass evenly from left and right edge, and then again using a little bit of pressure, you want to keep it from just wobbling around. You will do the same thing at the bottom, just align it correctly and drop it, and you should have the same kind of effect. So now that this is out of the way, I'm gonna clean the display. So you want to get rid of all the smudges and just any kind of crap that might be on here. Once you have done so, the next thing that you want to worry about is just dust. So if you have any kind of dust, you want to absolutely get rid of it without a doubt. So just to clarify this dust, if you are unfortunate, dust will create air bubbles under your display, so between the tempered glass and the display, which obviously you don't want to have. Sometimes if you have tiny bit of speck of dust, it might not affect it, which at that point that's great, but you still don't want to take that chance, so make sure you don't have any kind of dust on the display. Once your display is prepped for the application, jump straight into actually applying it. So peel that off. Oh, actually a little bit too low. There we go. So you can see it applied perfectly. Now we have a little bit of dirt on it. Here we go. So, one more thing that I didn't actually mention is when you have your tempered glass, I'm just going to grab another one, you will have a sticker. So this that I was using only had like one, but there in certain cases you might see 1 and 2. If you do, that's completely fine. You always will start with number 1. This will then reveal a sticky side on your tempered glass, at which point, once you peel that off, you just place it down like this, and then once it's already on here, you will then peel off number 2, which will then reveal the actual like glass surface that is now on your display. So there we go. Now anyway, with this being said, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.